Hello everybody and welcome to my Road to Glory account, weirdly, on this channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my FUT Champions squad and what I think is personally the best FUT Champions squad you can build for roughly about $1 million-ish coins. Players go up and down in value. I might have bought it for a bit more than $1 million, but I'm pretty sure you can buy the whole thing for about 1 million coins. Now, so as we're getting into FIFA and as the new month of FUT Champions is about to start for January, if you want to go and try and get yourself some elite monthlies or something like that, this is going to be a perfect squad, basically, to be able to do it. If you can see, I've only played one game so far this week because I've been getting videos ready for while I'm away. If you want sub to my Road to Glory and you don't know what it is, make sure you go and subscribe. Go and check it out. It's almost on 100k subs on that channel. It's called AJ3Plays. I'll leave a link to it down in the description. If we get to 100k subs, that would be absolutely awesome. It's about 10,000 away, so go and smash that subscribe button. But basically today, I'm going to be showing you the team that I use on that account for FUT Champs. We're going to jump in. I'm going to talk you through my squad. I'm going to talk to you about what's good about it, the different formations, tactics for FUT Champs, all that sorts of stuff. So let's just start off by making a brand new squad and we'll just call it FUT Champs. So this video is basically just going to be like a good old fashioned FIFA squad builder. So let's just kick it straight off and get hold of our goalkeeper, who is going to be normal Ter Stegen. Now I have had, and I've currently got the coins to buy it if I wanted to, the team of the group stage Ter Stegen, who is here. He's got 3 better diving, 4 better handling, 2 better kicking, which doesn't really matter, 3 better reflexes, 8 better speed, not really sure how much that matters, and 4 better positioning. So he's basically 3 or 4 on average better in every single stat, and he's 3 or 4 times worse than a normal one. I literally don't get it at all. I had it, it cost me about 90k. It just does so much stupid stuff. There isn't a way to see like the saves, if feat traits and stuff like that in game, like in this screen. You have to like go into a match and look at them, and even then the difference depends on which game mode you're in, which card variant you're using, and even then there's an actual EA database on their website which is different as well. So I don't know if they've messed up and give it different traits to the normal card or something, but it's just crap. It's just terrible. I sold it and just went back to using the normal one. So we got normal Ter Stegen. So with that, I would say don't always necessarily assume that informs are immediately better than normal cards. And a lot of the time, which I will come on to with, in fact, I'm just going to put him straight in just so I can show you guys. One of the players that we've got is a Toro Vidal. Don't always assume that informs are A, better, because as we've just shown with that Ter Stegen, he's woeful, but even that they're worth the coins, like normal Vidal versus inform Vidal. Why is it not showing me the stat difference? There it is. He's got 1 better pace, he's got 3 better shooting, which is pretty good, 2 better passing, 2 dribbling, 1 defending, and 1 physical. So that, as informs go, is actually a pretty decent upgrade for a first inform. Some of them are terrible. And he probably costs, in fact, I'm going to check his exact price on FUTBin right now. For that inform Vidal, it's 330k. This one is about 100. So it's like 225k more expensive for basically nothing. And that's a pretty bad example of it as well. There is some much worse versions of that. The Futmas cards were terrible examples of that as well. Like really good examples of this, but terrible for that as well, where they cost so many coins, but they barely even change. So just be wary. Second informs is where it starts to get ridiculously good. And do you know what? We're going to build this team all over the place, because this guy's second inform is one of the players, and it is absolutely insane. Aaron Moy with his 70s and 80s across the board. If we compare this guy to his normal card, look at the difference. He's got 8 more pace, 13 more shooting, 9 more passing, 9 more dribbling, 10 defending, and 9 physical. So that is a ridiculous upgrade. Compare that, even his first inform was insane compared to them. So there is some good ones, but a lot of the times, especially for the really good players, like the players that are already good, the boosts to their informs get aren't necessarily worth it. And then you do get into all of the slider manipulation and all of that rubbish that we don't even know exists in FIFA. Maybe informs trigger it and the card isn't good enough to overcome it. I don't know. That's all a bit of a myth. But there are 2 of our centre mids. This squad is absolutely all over the place. I should probably put it into the formation that we use, which is 4-3-2-1. Just to start off though, we do change the squad once we get into game, because we are now one of them people. Right. Centre-backs, we have got Mr. Boateng and Mr. Rudiger. So I'll pop both of them into the squad there. Rudiger cost me 3k, and he's just mental. He's got a high defensive work rate, 74 pace, 83 strength, 89 aggression. He just wins absolutely everything. He's 6'3". Best 3,000 coins you can spend on a centre-back. Boateng next to him is basically the same thing. 6'4", 75 pace, decent strength, decent aggression. I say decent strength, insane strength, decent aggression. He's just a bit better at everything, like a bit better at intercepting, a bit better at tackling, winning the 50-50s and stuff like that. He does cost an extra 150k, or I think at the moment it's probably about 100k. Yeah, he costs about 100k now, whereas I picked him up for 158. This, I'm going to put the last one in. This triangle of players is basically the death triangle. Alaba, Vidal, and Boateng are just ridiculous. He's 100k, but you can pick him up for about 75k now, I think. Yeah, maybe even 70, 65. He's ridiculous. Again, mental stats. Good stamina, 87 stamina. He hasn't got the best strength, but he's a fullback. He's got 86 pace. He's very good going forward. He's very good at defending. He's basically just very good at absolutely everything. It's just insane. And this triangle is horrific. There is a new one with that new Benatia, and then the Alexandro, and then maybe Matuidi or something like that. But debating getting it, but it would mess up this side of the team. And I think, to be honest, that this might want slightly better anyway. I don't know. That's because that Matuidi card is one of them ones, the inform, where it's like, is it really worth it? And then you're looking at normal Matuidi versus normal Vidal, and you're like, probably go for this side. Anyway, let's plonk in our right back, who is actually an untradeable card. Packed him, which is pretty lucky. It's not any of my red ones, who I don't really use them. They're just my super subs. This guy, in fact, is incredible, and I used them for 130 games, and I would very, very much recommend using him if you want to slot him into a squad. But I go for Kyle Walker because I've got Premier League players there. We then move in to the centre of the team, where we don't have Bakayoko, whose name I am typing in for some reason because he's on the tip of my tongue. We've got N'Golo Kante. You can have Bakayoko, and Kante did cost me 150k. Compared to, he's about, okay, he hasn't gone down too much because of the Premier League hype. Compared to Bakayoko, it's like 3k. So if we do compare their stats, if I get a Bakayoko up here, Kante's faster by quite a lot, better at shooting by an absolute mile, better at passing by quite a bit, better at dribbling by quite a bit. They've got the same defender, and he's actually got more physical, even though he's got less strength. At 86 stamina, 82 strength, 85 aggression for Bakayoko, so he's in the 80s for all of them. Whereas Kante's 94 stamina and 90 aggression take him actually above him for physical, even though he's not quite as strong. So he's sick. He's absolutely everywhere. He's got ridiculously good balance, ridiculously good interceptions. He intercepts absolutely everything. And he's just all over the place, and a massive, massive pain in the arse, basically. You can, if you don't want to spend the extra 100k on it, just get Bakayoko, and he does basically the same thing, to be honest. Kante just feels a bit nicer in the team, less clunky and panicky when you're passing the ball. When he tackles someone, you aren't like, oh, get rid of it before he falls over himself and loses the ball. You can just dribble and make a pass and stuff with Kante, so he feels nicer. It's having a CDM spot if you're going to be passing the ball around, and like if you knock it out to Moy and you're looking to play it back inside, Kante is better to pick the ball up rather than a massive clunky touch from Bakayoko, and then hopefully he passes it to Vidal, whereas Kante basically will every single time. He is really, really, really good. Okay, we did actually have a red card here instead of Moy, but we packed Moy, and I did want to get him anyway, and he's really, really, really good. He's got 87 stamina and aggression and strength and all that good stuff as well. He's a ridiculously good card. Very, very good all round. I did used to have, and I will plonk him on the bench because I do keep him on the bench, and I will show you guys my super subs as well. The first one is my red Fernandinho, who's played quite a few games for me. Christ, I say quite a few. He's played nearly 100. But he's good. He's pretty good. He's got a high defensive work rate, but he doesn't play like it, which is what annoyed me. So I played him as a wide centre mid, and he was just basically a cam. I don't really get it. It baffles me sometimes, but he didn't stay back at all, which is kind of annoying. Moving up to right forwards. I think actually, I used to do it a different way. Yeah, I used to have Son there actually. I used to play striker, and I had Sissoko, Musa Sissoko here, who is a player that I would very, very much recommend. Let me just plonk him in for you guys if I've still got him, or at least we'll have a look at him. 1,200 coins, and he's got 70s across the board. He doesn't make a very good right winger or right forward particularly, but if you're doing what I'm doing, and being one of them people who pauses as soon as the game starts, changes your formation and stuff, he's very good to move back to centre mid. He's a really, really good card. Again, stamina, strength, everything that you need in a centre midfielder. I really, really liked him, and he actually scored quite a few goals as well, to be fair. He was a decent player, but he's not who we play there anymore. What we have now got is someone who plays cam in-game. So this is really weird, and I should probably talk about it a little bit as we plonk Mahrez in. He's a right winger, but he plays cam. He's got a decent record, 22 goals, 14 assists in 43 games. It's not the best, but he's decent. He cost me like 80k. He's very, very agile. I'm still not quite used to him, which is really weird. He does everything very strange because he's left-footed, and he also just all of his mannerisms on the game. Do you know the way players shoot differently, and sometimes one of them uses the outside of the foot all the time? He's one of them, and like he does proper weird little passes and stuff. I don't know. He's good though. I would recommend him. You could maybe get Sterling to play cam instead, and he might be a little bit more conventional, sweaty, just sprint with the ball sort of cam. Debating it, but I do like Mahrez. He's a good little player, so we're keeping hold of him for now. But I should probably talk about the old pause the game and change to 4-1-2-1-2. In fact, should we put the rest? Nah, I'll tell you now because it's something that I don't particularly. It doesn't bother me. It never bothered me when people did it to me, and it doesn't bother me that I now do it. I don't feel like a hypocrite of the game or anything like that because it really makes no difference, to be honest. I just wish the system was either more strict or taken away completely. We're in sort of a middle ground where you have to abide to chemistry, but as soon as you get into the game, you can just change it anyway and it doesn't really matter. I would rather, instead of that and everyone fanning around for a couple of minutes at the start of every game and changing the teams, it doesn't bother me which way you go. I really don't care about chemistry. That I don't think it's an integral part of the game or anything like that. It's Ultimate Team. I should be able to throw Boateng, Ramos and De Gea at the back and get full chemistry if I wanted to, with Dani Alves at right back and Alexandra at left back. Do you know what I mean? It should be my Ultimate Team, not my Ultimate Team that plays in the same sort of league. Anyway, before we get into a chemistry rant, I basically think they should either just get rid of it completely and you can just build whatever you want, or make it super strict where it's like the FUT draft, you can't change your players, you can't put anyone out of position in-game and stuff like that, or if you do, the chemistry is affected as it would be if you started the game like that. So whilst it's not, I'm going to just do it anyway because everybody does it and it really doesn't bother me. But I just think it would be cool if they either made it super strict or just got rid of it together rather than sort of just fannying around in the middle and it doesn't really do anything. So that's my opinion on it. You guys can think what you want. There is a lot of people who think it's ridiculous. There's a lot of people who think it's the best thing because you get to play players in positions that they actually play in real life. Like they start with left wing Ronaldo and move into striker because that's what he plays for Real. Stuff like that. I don't know. You guys are up to your own opinion, but you can do it. So I do it. And it really doesn't bother me. Anyway, let's move in and put in our two strikers in game. One of them is baby icon Hernandez, who is that the old one or is everyone calls the little ones the baby one, and I'm not sure if this is when he's old or when he's young. I assume it's when he's old because he's got the most pace. I assume so. He does look quite young in it as well, but anyway, it doesn't matter. He's baby Hernandez because he's 85 rated, and then up front with him we've got arguably the stupidest player on this whole game, Anthony Martial, the 82 rated, who is basically Thierry Henry in game. He gives Kante chemistry, he gets the chem himself. Obviously Hernandez just links to everyone, so it really doesn't matter. We've got ourselves a bit of a Premier League, Bundesliga, German, because of Ter Stegen, hybrid. So, Hernandez, I can't even speak. Luis Hernandez, baby Hernandez, 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot, 520,000 coins, 39 goals and 30 assists in 43 games is pretty bloody good considering every game has been in FUT Champs. Martial, bit of a different record because I was using them initially up front with Son. 87 games, 71 goals, 41 assists. So both of them have scored just under a goal per game and then have assisted more than enough to take them over the goal or assist per game, 1 goal or assist per game ratio. So it's pretty decent. This guy does cost 500k, and I do feel a little bit like you get diminishing returns on players. So for example, Bakayoko costs 3k, and it's an extra 147k to go up to Kante, who's only a little bit better than him when you compare the fact that Bakayoko is only 3k. Striker, I don't know. Normal Gabriel Jesus is like, what's he these days? Probably like 25k. This is an extra 500k. He's better, but it is diminishing returns. But if you're spending 1 million coins on a squad, you have got to spend 1 million coins somewhere, and it does make the team better. It doesn't make it 500k better compared, like, if you get a Gabriel Jesus for 25k, you don't get 20 Gabriel Jesuses for 500k, do you know what I mean? He's better, but he's not better. He's not upper echelon, he's not Pele, he's not Ronaldo. They cost millions. And then you can notice the difference between Ronaldo and R9 Ronaldo and CR7 and striker Cristiano Ronaldo and Pele and all stuff like that, but that costs stupid amounts of coins. For 500k, this Luis Hernandez is probably the best striker you can buy on the game. That might be a bold statement, maybe people would disagree with me with Suarez and Aguero and Bale costs 500k, less than 500k, and you can move him to striker. He is very, very, very good, but it's just a little bit ridiculous. When you do compare him to 20k Martial, who's got the same goal scoring record, it is a little bit dodgy, but for me, they both can't score. Like, if it was a one striker formation and he wasn't scoring more than a goal a game, I'd be annoyed. But both of them up front, and together they're scoring almost 2 goals per game between the two of them. That's without Mahrez chipping in with a goal every other game, and Moy chipping in with a goal every 4 games, and Vidal chipping in with a goal every 3 games and stuff. So it does add up, and we do get there to like scoring basically 3 goals per game with this team. We could sit here for ages and debate about whether it's worth spending 500k on Hernandez. To be honest, it probably, well, if you're thinking about the coin value, it probably isn't. But what else are you going to do with the coins? Nobody wants 5 100k teams. You want one sick team where one player costs you 500k, and that's where I've chosen to spend the money, and I think it was a very, very good decision. He does stuff to just win you the game out of nowhere. Stuff that another 500k striker wouldn't do. Stuff that Martial can't do. Yeah, Martial, you play 4 billion through balls to him every game, and eventually one of them goes in the back of the net. Hernandez just whips something out of nowhere and wins you the game from absolutely nothing. It is crazy. So, let me show you what I move it to in-game. It's 4-1-2-1-2-2. With Martial over on this side, Mahrez in the centre, Kante CDM, Moy on the right, Vidal on the left, and obviously the defence like that. We've got custom tactics of faster build-up play, keeping the build-up play organised, passing and shooting, not too much crossing, and then freeform on this one. I think I nabbed this off, was it hashtag Harry? I nabbed it off one of the pros, I don't really know. But basically, transgressions freeform, so your players like move about at the top end of the pitch and get in behind all the gaps and stuff. Build up is organised so that you don't have Vidal all of a sudden bombing over to the right hand side of the pitch. And then pressure and aggression turned up a little bit with defender line on cover. That was something you had to change last year because it was on this stupid offside trap thing and you constantly just got through balled in behind, but it's base default on cover now and it is pretty good. When I get into the game, I then go into player instructions and I move Kante to stay back while attacking. I move Martial to get in behind and press the back line, so he's always right on the very edge of the defence. And it depends on what the other guys' team's like. I either leave these unbalanced or I cliff my fullbacks to stay back while attacking. So that is my squad. I've then got 3 super subs, one of who is, or 4 super subs now. I had 3, I've now got 4 because Pirlo has become one of them. But that Fernandinho is one, as you've already seen. If you have to actually sub Pirlo on in a game, because I've only just got him and I didn't need to sub Mon to win the last game, the very first one of this weekend, we've got Fernandinho. We've got my other red cards of Heung-min Son. His one is a cam because I used to start it at centre mid and there was loads of different teams, but he's not that good. That was 66 starts and he scored 30 goals. When you compare that to Martial and Hernandez, it's just not on the same level at all. Well, Hernandez has already scored way more goals than him in way less games. And then finally, my other super sub is Meunier. That one that I mentioned before, the red card, is mental. He's 6'3", high work rates, stamina of 94, 87 strength. He's fast, he's good at tackling, he's decent at shooting and passing and dribbling and everything. And basically what I'll do, if I need a goal, I will sub off Mahrez and probably put Son at cam. Or drop Hernandez or Martial back and put Son at striker. I've now got the option to bring on Pirlo at cam and put a fresh striker on up front in Son as well. And then if I'm already ahead and I need to show something up, what I'll do is I'll bring on Meunier there for Kante, and then I'll bring on Fernandinho for whichever of the other two is more tired, just to give myself some more legs in midfield as well. So that is the way the team is going basically, and it works very, very, very well. I play a very build-up, possession-based kind of game where I do keep the ball a lot and pass it around a lot, and I do like having all of the midfielders tucked in, passing the ball around and looking for the through ball. Quite like it when my fullbacks bomb on down the side, but it does depend what sort of team I'm playing against. If I'm playing someone with wingers or a 4-3-2-1 or something like that, then I'll make sure they stay back to mark the inevitable Ronaldo and Alessandrini that'll be bombing on. But that is my team. That is what I believe is the best 1 million coin team you can get on this game, which is why I have got it on my Road to Glory account. It's about how much it's worth. I think if I sold it all, I probably paid a little bit more than that for it, but all the prices have since gone down. But yeah, that is where we're going to leave this video. It's basically just been me 15 minutes-ish of chatting about my team, about how to play FIFA and stuff. If you wanted to know how I defend with it, you basically just grab hold of Vidal. This is the thing that people ask a lot, is how to defend on FIFA, because it is a bit weird. Don't control these ones unless you absolutely have to. Grab hold of Kante, or if you can, Vidal or Moy, and just run back and annoy the guy who's got the ball. Leave these to just do everything themselves and they'll auto-intercept it, especially Boateng because he's mental. And then if they do play a quick pass into someone that's getting marked by these, if you can, change them and intercept the ball, or change them and tackle them and stuff. That's just comes with practice, knowing when to change them. But basically, just leave the defense to be controlled by the AI and use these three, which is why they're so good at it, because they've all got like sick pace, sick defending, sick stamina to constantly bomb up and down the pitch and just do your opponent's head in, basically. So yeah, that is where we're going to leave this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope it's been a little bit helpful and you might have found some players to slot into your team. There's obviously difference of opinions and you guys can make it a little bit different. Maybe you bring in Sterling, maybe you don't like, maybe you've got loads of coins and you use Henry instead of Martial, maybe you prefer Aurier to Walker. There's little different bits and bobs, but it's up to you guys what you do with it. I hope you've enjoyed this video anyway and got yourself some helpful information, and maybe you can get yourself, I got Elite 3 in FUT Champs monthly last month, which is where I got this Fernandinho and Son, and actually got an Mbappe from as well, who I just don't use because I just don't like. I think in fact he might be on my bench too. I think it's now like that, my bench, and I sometimes bring Mbappe on up front, but he's a bit useless. Yeah, that's where we're going to leave this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see, let me know how you get on with this squad if you do use it, and I'll see you guys next time.